What if God is real, but God isn't like God? In other words, what if there really is a God, but that God is not what we think? What if all this business about God being like all powerful and all present and all knowing and all that stuff, what if those are just things that we came up with because we wanted to have an all powerful God because it made us feel good? And what if God exists, but like I'm going to call it, is like a completely different just form of consciousness that we haven't been able to comprehend yet? I'm going to illustrate what I mean. So imagine an organism with a brain, a slug or an ant or a praying mantis or something. These animals have brains, they respond to their environment, they take in data, they process the data, and they make decisions based on the data just like we do, right? But the gap between a praying mantis and a human being is just insanely huge. Imagine sitting down with a praying mantis and trying to explain to that praying mantis quantum physics, or the history of the Persian Empire, or why human beings have funerals, or the purpose of a roller coaster. I think it's pretty safe to say this would be a very frustrating experience. And you could try for months, years even, and you would probably never figure out a way to take that complex information and boil it down to something that a praying mantis would understand. What if that's God? What if God is like some kind of collective or just like a force? A higher consciousness that's so much more complex or evolved that we just can't understand it. And that all of the hundreds of thousands of religions and beliefs and faith traditions that have tried to figure out who God is are just these really interesting but ultimately pathetic attempts to understand God. People often ask me, why do I still like believe in God if I left Christianity? Well, these are the kind of thoughts I have that kind of answer that question. There is so much about the universe that we don't understand. Some of the greatest advances in human thought that have ever existed started with people asking questions just like this. Just a little bit of food for thought for your Sunday morning.